What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Testimony. I can be honest, I'm not great at staying consistent on this channel. I get a lot of things going on, and then I don't. You know, there are times that I feel like God is telling me to get on and record something, and I don't. I kind of ignore it. To be honest, I didn't see much growth in the channel. I got videos that no one's looked at. And I got plenty of friends and family, but I got videos no one's looked at. It's depressing. But I'm still going to make videos. They might not be as often as I should make them. But, you know, someone to watch them eventually. Maybe it'll help. God willing, Lord willing. I'm waiting on my wife. 4:45. She gets off in 15 minutes. I've got my hair cut. Try to keep it nice and clean. I'm tired. I worked on my car today. Part was wrong. I'll be honest, feels like a lot of things are going downhill right now. And I want to remind myself as much as I want to remind y'all that keeping the faith is important, no matter how devastating things get. There's a lot of personal issues I'm going through right now with health. But I have a great support system in my family and some friends. I'm getting a lot of prayers. That's always helpful. I know God is amazing, and no matter what I go through, He's always there. I hope this reaches people. I don't want this to be, for nothing. I don't think it is. Because at the very least, it's me expressing some of my feelings outward. It's kind of like an avenue. I'm willing to talk to people, even the non-believers, have a kind of a discussion. I don't want to debate. If you really are that set against believing in God, what's the point, right? If you're going to believe that side that doesn't believe and that side that has lied to you, you want to continue in your own situations, by all means. I do care for you and I do want you to choose right. I do want you to choose Jesus, but I'm not going to twist your arm. It says in the Gospels that, to wipe the dust from your feet from them, take your peace. But I want to keep trying, but at what point is it too much, right? You're just spinning your wheels. That's the hard part, is faithful Christians. There's people like friends and family and even strangers, that you can sit there and pray for, and you want to follow God, and they've heard it. They've heard you over the years talking about it. They've heard you seen the videos you sent or looked at them, probably not watched them, just, oh, that's cool. Or the photos you sent of the evidence, or the I cut that video because my wife had just got out of the work, and I just forgot to continue it on. Now I'm sitting here, hospital, That first part of the video, it was a couple weeks ago. The health issues, and I don't want to make this about me. The reason all these videos I make is because they're about God, and I want to praise God in all of them. I had a kidney tumor, and it got removed 2 weeks ago to be exact. And it was rough. You know, I prayed to God for the miracle to heal my kidney before I had to go to surgery, and it didn't happen. But we'll get to that in a second. Sorry, it's literally like midnight, and I'm just woke up a little while ago. This round of the reason why I'm in the hospital is I had a fever, and they're just worried about infection around my incision. So I'm doing okay. Over the last couple weeks since, my mentality on God is, it's a fickle terminology to say here. I wouldn't say I was mad at God or angry at Him. That seems a bit harsh to say. Kind of upset, you know? It's kind of like if your dad, you asked him for, like when you're a kid, you ask him for ice cream and he tells you no. And you don't hate him for it, but you're just, ooh. That's kind of how I was over the last 2 weeks. I do a lot of things, you know. At the age of 42, I'm actually in a position to where I enjoy working, you know. I love to get up and get out and move around and do things. I love smoking meats. I love grilling meats on the grill. I love being outside and active. You know, I'm losing weight. I'm actually getting healthier, despite some of my health concerns right now. I live on 5 acres. You know, I help take care of the 5 acres. I do a lot. I cook for the family that lives on the property. I just do a lot. And there's days I feel really exhausted, but even during that exhaustion, I'm happy. You know? Not completely. Yeah, you know, you ain't gonna be completely happy. There's moments that I'm just like, I'm frustrated mentally, you know, but I wouldn't change it because I'm grateful for what I have. I get into the situation here, though, where now I can't. I've had a kidney removed because I had a tumor. But I don't have a tumor no more, so that's a blessing. But here I am now, I'm down for 2 months. And that's a lot for me. I mean, 2 months, I could accomplish a whole lot. So I was a bit frustrated with that. I was a bit off-put with that. And so I wasn't getting into the Word with God. And my prayer life had went downhill a bit. Just shadows. And so I'd been struggling a little bit, and I didn't tell nobody about this. I wrestle with things, and I don't like to explain my mental life to a lot of people because sometimes I feel, what's the point, you know? What's it going to change? My wife is amazing. She tries to get me to speak about these things because she knows you're not supposed to bottle it up, and that's what I used to do. And here I am trying to do it again. I should listen to her more. But The nurse came in. Oh, I could sleep. I don't want to make this humongous long video because it seems I know a lot of people watch them, but it's alright. So I've just been keeping all this to myself. Now, I have, when I mean it, I have an amazing support system between my wife, my children, my mother, my friend that she's with, my sisters, my brothers, even Roy up there. Friends, I have church friends, pastor from the church, like the entire church I go to is New Hope Baptist Church, by the way. The entire church I go to is very, very supportive. So many prayers. My Trail Life group, thank you, gentlemen. Want to cry? I'm not going to, though. I want to cry, though. I used to think, and if you scroll through my videos, I had some suicidal videos about what I've been through. And this is where it plays a humongous part about listening to the right people versus the wrong people. Satan is cunning. I think he's the key factor in any depression or anxiety issue, right? Because his goal is to keep us separated from God, right? And if there's people around you that believe in God, he's not going to want you around them. Right? So he's going to build up this, let's start with depression, right? He's going to build up this depression and make you think you're not worth anything. Make you think no one loves you, no one wants you around. That's the main key to depression, is like, I'm nothing. I'm worthless. This world would be better off without me. Then there's anxiety, the fear of being around people because something crazy might happen, or no one will like me, or they're always judging me. You know, it just feels so much and it's clouding over me. So you don't want to be around people in your depressive state, in your anxiety state. That's Satan. He's being ever so working on that situation. And the difference between me now and me then is I can notice it. Thanks the good Lord. He's given me perception to see things. Sometimes I'm blinded and I can't see it, but He's gave me a perception to see things. I had all the people around me. I knew they loved me. I knew they prayed for me. I had all the support. But one part was just still absent from me as I thought. And it was God. I felt like He wasn't around for the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks, actually. Because I prayed. Again, I prayed for this kidney to be healed so I didn't have to go through this. And it wasn't healed. So it got me. The why started happening. why can't I have this kidney healed? You've done it in all your Gospels. There's people that I've heard pray tell that seen healing miracles. Why can't I have this healing miracle? I've seen you work miracles. I've seen what you did for my late wife, Heather. I've seen all the things you've done for me in my lifetime. Why can't you heal this kidney? And I didn't get an answer. 10% battery left. I might have to continue this in a little while. And I haven't got an answer till today. Well, technically yesterday, because it's past midnight right now. Actually, it started yesterday, day before yesterday. There's a chaplain that came in, and we had a good one-on-one, and I opened up, finally, about my mental state with this whole ordeal. God gave him some words to speak to me and kind of open things up a little bit. The basic rundown is trials and tribulations. And when you go through these trials and tribulations, it's kind of a test of your faith of how strong it is. And I thought I had strong faith. And here I am. I was faltering off of Scripture, staying away from the Bible and not praying as much and just not talking to God. Kind of like a stubborn child. So that helped start my mentality change again. And then yesterday, there's a lot of confusion because time period right now, but these two volunteers come in. One's this old lady, she's like probably 90. And there's this other one that's with her, she's a younger girl, but she's on the autistic spectrum or Down syndrome, something like that. And it came in and they were talking to me about being blessed and stuff, and just got a smile on my face. It changed a lot of mentalities, perspective. And then my brother Justin showed up. You know, I had a clip from The Chosen. And if you've watched the show, you know the episode. If you haven't watched the show, I don't want to spoil too much for you. But do read it in the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are the Gospels of Jesus. They're amazing. Where little James is struggling with his disability, so to speak, of having to walk with a stick. And how he got the power to heal people, but like he hasn't been healed himself. And Jesus tells him that there's going to be a lot of people that can tell the story of how Jesus healed me, right? How much more impactful would the story be as if you still had faith in Jesus, right? Through all your disabilities, all your struggles, all your situations that you're going through, that you still had faith in Jesus with that and still healed people and not yourself. God's amazing, because when you start asking and you start needing,
Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna cry again. This gets good. He opens the door and he tries to help you open your eyes and helps you understand. I'm gonna continue this, and I'll leave all this unedited because I'm gonna just add it in. But I'm gonna continue this video maybe tomorrow or maybe when I get home because I gotta charge my phone. But
that video was cut because a nurse came in, and I'm piecing this together because I feel like I want to say something, but every time I got something going on, I'm interrupted. And I like to do these videos where it's just me so I can focus. And sometimes when I'm doing videos around people, I get embarrassed or shy, so I don't. This is going to be really short, and then I'm going to cut in another ending piece. But I want y'all to know I'm doing a lot better. That was literally 2 weeks ago. It's now 1 month to be exact since the surgery date. I'm continuing the situation of trying to explain it all and my mentality throughout this whole situation, and how God's actually showed me my way. And the ending part is everything. It's going to be everything. I want y'all to bear with me throughout this entire video. I know it's going to be like 5 different videos all cut together. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of editing. You know how I am. I just keep it as honest and truthful as possible. That eyebrow sticking out right there. I appreciate y'all watching these videos. There's a lot going on, health-wise, but thank the Lord I'm still alive and I'm still moving around. I'm getting things done. I'm healing up. I'm not working right now. I'm doing a lot of walking around. Today, me and my family are going down to Mount Scott, Oklahoma, where they're having a passion play. It's their 100th anniversary. Today is the 12th of April. Yeah, the 12th of April, so it's a Saturday. So we got that going on today. So that's why I'm trying to make this real short, less than 3 minutes, if I can get it all worded in before they actually get back in the car and pick my girls up from their grandmother's. Stay positive with God. Like I said, I'm going to do the last part cut in as an ending part of the video. It's going to be about 5-6 minutes so I can get all my words in and not rush. My mentality has been rough, like I was saying in that last part, to where I was kind of aggravated. It's not so much at God, it's at the why He's chosen to put me through what I'm going through. Because you hear stories of people getting their miracles gifted to them, and it's not so much that I needed the miracle, because if you watch my older videos, my miracles was Heather, my first wife, and I got to spend a little bit more time in life with her than normal. And I just get curious as to why, and with us not having a direct contact with God other than going to prayer and sometimes a good spiritual event happening in your life, you don't know why. It's just kind of the mystery of what God's plan is for you. And so that gets a little frustrating because I like to know things. I want to know what I'm going into. But I think that's the point of God, putting me through this, is the mystery of it all, But having faith and staying faithful. I'll never not believe in God. I'll never not have the faith in God the Father and Jesus Christ dying on the cross for our sins. But as a human, I mess up, and sometimes I get questioned on. I don't get questions, but I have questions, and I get frustrated those questions aren't answered from God. So I get down and out about it. And that's what happened with my surgery and then going back in through the infection. The infection was more in my tooth. It wasn't in the incision, so I'm actually doing well. Having another tooth taken out. Ugh, teeth. So it's gone a little long. So I'll cut in another video, and I thank y'all for watching and dealing with all these, different spots and different recordings. It's actually been like a 3-week ordeal with trying to film this one video, but in different parts. So, ladies Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last part of this testimonies video. I know it's now actually been probably a couple weeks since I recorded the last part. Again, like I said, I'm going to cut all this in. Oh, can you hear me? The healing is actually doing fantastic. You know, my incision's 90% healed, 98%, 95%, right in there in the high 90s. I'll spare you the details. This whole ordeal got me to thinking about perception. And in perception, I lost it, you know, and I consider myself a perceptionist. I kind of view myself as a perceptionist because I see things that other people don't. You know, I pay attention to certain things. I watch people, and this kidney situation with having it removed and having cancer, it just gave me I wasn't even looking like I was supposed to. I think that's one of the reasons why God sent me through this, you know, besides testing my faith, is to get a new point of view on my life, you know, because I'd lost it. I just sit there and, you know, be in my situation and not, you know, I'm very grateful for the life I have, very blessed for all the people that's been in my life and all the things I have. I'm very blessed and very grateful, but I'd lost my view of things, and that's honest truth. And with this cancer that I had, it's hard to say that word, you know, this cancer that I had, I was frustrated, and as I said, I wasn't frustrated with God. Well, I guess you consider it be frustrated with God, right? You know, frustrated as to why I have to go through this, you know. You know, the more I think about it every day, there's people who go through a lot worse. You know, there's people that lose spouse. You know, I've lost a spouse, but they lose them. You know, you lost, whether they leave you, they cheat on you, they pass away. You know, that's hard. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's tough. You know, there's people out there being, you know, forced against their will into sexual situations. You know, I don't want to say that word. I mean, because YouTube might take it away, but we all know what it is. We all disagree. It's very bad. You know, whether it's a man, woman, a child, it doesn't matter. It's bad, and that's happening. That's really happening. There's a lot of human trafficking going on where young men and women are being sold and forced against their will on a constant basis, knowing that they'll probably never see their family again. You know, there's people being beaten right now, people being robbed and shot. You know, there's a lot of bad things that are going on in this world, and I have a kidney cancer, and I throw a fit about it. Man, I felt rough with it, you know. I felt thing is God's been very good to me in my life, and I can't argue about the things that go awry. I can't. You know, some people don't go, I mean, they go their whole lives without even getting married once, and I've been married twice. You know, I lost my first one, but I got another one. You know, I've been blessed. So I'm driving to go get to my wife. The thing is, you just got to sit there and change your perception. And really get into knowing how much worse other people have it. I know it's been hard with this kidney issue on me, you know, because I don't like to be down and out. I don't want to sit there and not do nothing, you know. But it has helped me, you know, guide my nephews. You know, it has helped me guide my daughters. Spend a little more time with my wife. I just wanted to let y'all know that things in life aren't as bad as they seem. It could be a whole lot worse. And if you got it worse right now, I'm sorry. I'm not bragging by no means. I've had some rough patches in my life, you know. But I know people have had it way worse than I have. I get to give my life, though, to God, no matter whether it's good or bad. You know, every moment I've had, good or bad, has been a learning lesson, and I've slowed myself down enough to pay attention. This one, I didn't right off the bat. You know, I gotta say the first couple weeks to 3 weeks was rough. You know, as I said, I've kind of been filming this almost the whole time. You know, but the thing is, that's what God is around me for. I kind of get that sense that eventually I'll see it. I might be slow at it sometimes just because, you know, I'm a pophead. But I end up seeing it. And that's the blessing about God, to give me that sense of perception to where I can see things that others don't. So I encourage you, besides getting into the Word of God, you know, because it is an amazing Word and it helps you daily, and getting into prayer, you know, it don't have to be out in public to where everybody sees. God really wants it just to be an intimate moment, an intimate prayer between you and Him, and private, you know. It's one of the reasons why at my dinner table prayer we all say our prayers alone. That way, one, no one feels embarrassed to say a prayer, which you shouldn't, but that's why each and every prayer during that dinner table is private. But I encourage you to, when you feel like the world is rough, right? You feel like, man, it's been kicking you in your teeth and nothing's going right. I encourage you to stop. Stop for, I'd say 10, 20 minutes, but sometimes it takes a little longer than that. And really just evaluate, okay, what's the reason for it, right? Is it, you know, am I doing something wrong? Or is it someone else doing something wrong? Or is it just the factor of I need to learn something, right? Or does someone else need to learn something through my problem? Also, sit back and realize that maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have it as bad and someone else does, and it just gives you that perception of like, oh, it could be worse, you know. I know it's just some things people say, but it's honest truth. I tell my children that all the time. You know, when they're complaining they have to do house chores, you know, I'm like, oh, it could be worse. You could be on the streets and not having to eat. I'm 42, and I've learned a lot of things the hard way. There's so many things people told me. Oh, my hair's acting fluffy. There's so many things people told me, and I just kind of blocked it because, you know, as a teenager, a young adult, I thought I knew better, and I don't. You know, I should have heeded a lot of their words just to help me along. You know, we're all going to make our mistakes, you know, and if this video can reach you and help you in any kind of sort of fashion, I feel blessed to help anybody. That's what I want to do. Now, no, this channel's not got a lot of viewers. But one day there might be someone just scrolling through and finds this video and it helps them out, or finds one of my other videos and it helps them out. You know, I got enough money, which is not really a lot, but it's enough for me and my family, so we get by. We do what we got to do. The blessing is just, I want to get people to heaven. I don't want them going to death and not knowing, you know. I encourage all of you, that if you do know the Word, just kind of be bold. You know, it's hard. I struggle with speaking to people in public. You know, it's like this anxiety issue that I get. I don't know. It's not how I feel or how I look. It's just when I speak, I don't want to upset people, because now modern day people are just so angry that, oh, you're speaking the word of God, you know, and they just get mad. Like, why are you mad? If you don't believe, then don't believe. There's no reason to get upset. It's not like I'm forcing it on you, you know. Now, there are people in this world that will force their opinions and thought processes on you, like what we got right now in the world, which is a lot crazy. But the thing is, I'm not. You can, if you don't agree with me or you don't like the channel, you can easily skip it, you know. I'm not going to hush. I'm still going to speak about God, but that's why I don't understand why people get angry. Sorry, I'm blabbing. I blabber. We know this. We've had a lot of my videos, and I still blabber on. So I'll end it, and this will be the last part of this video, and I'll cut it all in, and we'll post it, and we'll see. We'll see. My situation is, I want y'all to start thinking, you know, as we all do, you know. Sometimes we just get so caught up in our emotions and our frustrations, we don't slow down, we don't process. The Bible does say, be slow to anger, you know, and slow to speak. That way you can process. You know, school used to tell us all the time, think before you act. That's it, you know. Or you just get too mad, just, you know, process a little bit. Sometimes we all just need a moment alone. You know, I prefer to have moments alone with God, so I just unload everything to Him. I don't do it as often as I need to, and I've been bottling up my conversations with my wife, and I'm changing it. I'm focusing. I'm reevaluating my old schoolness to bring out the new schoolness to where I need to open. Now I said it, new schoolness. Anyway, I thank y'all for joining me. I don't want to pray right now because I'm driving, so I'll leave you with this. Come with a Bible verse. Comment down in the section that, you know, helps push people to understand, you know, life is hard, and sometimes, you know, we go through things, you know, or something that helps raise someone's spirits. You know, bring a Bible verse. I can't think of one, like Psalms 118. I can't remember the it's in Psalms 118. I think it's 24, but I could be wrong. I'm working on it. This is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. I love that one. So, yeah. I hope y'all have a blessed day, a blessed week, until I decide to make another video, because they're random anymore. All right. Y'all take care.